Am revenit în direct. Inovație și reziliență, două concepte ce par poate abstracte, dar care ar putea salva planeta, susține scriitorul israelian Avi Jorisch. Specialist în probleme legate de combaterea terorismului, în urmărirea fraudelor financiare, Jorisch a vorbit într-un interviu în exclusivitate pentru Antena 3 CNN despre războiul din Ucraina și posibilul său final, despre invenții care au salvat lumea și despre tratamentul care a salvat viețile a milioane de persoane cu afecțiuni hepatice.
As we look at some of the grand global challenges that the planet Earth faces in the years to come, Israel has come up with a number of solutions that are relevant for countries around the world that can truly make the lives of people much better by curing the sick, feeding the hungry, and helping the needy.
One of them, the drip irrigation, it's something that you didn't think it need to be invented in a way.
So interestingly, in Israel is to my knowledge, the world's one and only water superpower. And when I say that, here you have a country that is 60% desert and has an overflowing amount of water. It has drip irrigation, which was created in the 1960s, which essentially allows you to double the yield of crops that you can actually produce by using half the water. So I think we really have to think about this in the context of resilience. Again, you take the Israeli model. Israel is a country that has experienced war and terrorism over the course of the last 75 years and is one of the most resilient countries on the planet. You have here an issue, you have a war going on in the Ukraine, which is going to force Ukraine and its neighbors, and I would say by proxy, the entirety of Europe, to become a much more resilient country/area when it comes to agriculture, when it comes to water, when it comes to poverty, when it comes to energy. And this is where I think we can really leverage the Israeli model. This is a country that already has shown the world that even under the worst of conditions, you can become a water independent, energy independent, etc. country and really truly feed your citizens. So certainly I don't have a crystal ball in terms of the end of the war.
You have knowledge, it's enough.
But I can certainly point to, from a digital perspective, we have experience both in Israel and other countries around the world that have digitized their citizens' lives and allowed your data to actually be used no matter what the conditions are taking place. And I would certainly encourage Ukraine and other countries like Romania to lean into the digitization transformation that's taking place. I mean, you look at an energy perspective. Israel is a world leader when it comes to solar energy. The first solar panel was actually created in Israel. It was created in the 1950s, and the inventor of the solar panel would say often, this is a very ugly looking innovation, but it allows everyone to shower with hot water and reduce the amount of energy that we consume in this country. And if you come to Israel, and I would encourage you to come, you will see on the top of almost every building in the country these solar panels. And there's no reason why we don't have these solar panels on the top of every roof deck, on the top of every home in Romania and other places in the world. If you look at the next few years, by 2030, which is 8 years from today, the world will fundamentally be different. You will hopefully by 2030 we will solve many cancers, diseases like Alzheimer's, essential tremor, Tourette's, and a whole host of other neurological diseases we will solve. The world is moving towards renewable energy, autonomous vehicles. By 2030 we will have a human on the moon full-time and on our way to Mars. And by 2030, a computer for the first time in human history will process faster than a human brain. Now, what does that really mean? That ultimately means that we have this great privilege and obligation at this point in time where we can actually solve the problems that we as humans have created. We truly can make the world a better place and solve climate, water security, food security, artificial intelligence, space, etc. We certainly are at an interesting inflection point in time where for the first time in human history, we can solve some of the problems that we've created and move beyond. And the idea that a computer can process faster than a human brain will ultimately allow us to have thoughts and ideas that we did not have before. And that gap, hopefully between the very rich and the very poor, will become smaller. Your children and mine are going to live in a very different world than the one that we inherited. Some of that is good, some of that is bad. Technology can be used for bad or for good.